Hi everyone, how you doing? Ron here with How Do I. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to use the cut, insert, copy, and delete functions in Microsoft Excel. Okay, so here we are in my breaks Excel, Microsoft Excel spreadsheet, and let's start off with delete. Okay, so there's a number of ways of doing this. So we're going to come over to Monday on the Toyota breaks. We're going to left click, highlight this, and on your keyboard, you can just do a simple delete. And you can see when I did that, it removed the total sales because we had a formula in here prior, which took, information from Toyota brakes, and now it's giving us this error. Okay, so I'm going to just do a Command Z or Control Z, and that undoes that. Okay, now the other option for doing a delete is left clicking on that cell, doing a right click, and click on delete. Now we're going to get an option here for this window. It's going to ask us what we want to do. So we can shift cells up, or we could delete the entire row, the entire column, or shift cells left. So this is where you have to be careful. Okay, so if you delete the entire column, obviously it's going to just delete everything in there. So now we want to do a Control Z or Command Z, just because we want our data back. We're going to right click and we're going to delete again. Okay, so we're going to come over here, and instead of just doing one cell, you could also use this function delete to do a bunch of rows, or sorry, a bunch of columns here. So you come over here, you highlight the cells you want, or you could even do, like I mentioned, columns, and you can right click anywhere around here, click on delete, and it'll delete those two, and do Command Z. So for this example, let's highlight these. We're going to right click, we're going to click on delete, and we're just going to go shift cells to the left. So watch what happens when you shift cells to the left here. And there you go. See, so the previous cells on the right moved over into here. And as you can see, because we had some formulas in here, we're getting ref errors. So let's just do a Command Z or Control Z on your keyboard. And now let's get into inserting. Okay, so let's say we wanted to insert data in this row again. So it's the same feature and function. You're going to right click, you're going to left click on the cell first, right click, and you're going to insert. Now we can shift the cells to the right. Typically, I like to shift cells to the right, well, depending on your spreadsheet. So it's just going to move everything over. So from 6, 1, 17, everything from here, it's going to shift it to the right. Watch what happens here. See, everything kind of moved over. Now, we can enter data, or we can do a Command Z or Control Z twice. So see how I did that twice because I did two features or two functions. Now we're back to the normal spreadsheet. So now we could also do this by highlighting here as well. So if we wanted to highlight all of these cells, right click, click on insert, and now we can shift these down. Okay, we're going to shift cells down. Watch what happens here. And it moves it all the way down from the last field. And now we're going to do Command Z or Control Z on your Windows. Now, let's say we wanted to move the data from Honda brakes over to the last section here after Hyundai brakes. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, because I want a column over here, I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to right click and I'm going to insert. And now this shifts it over to the right. Now what I want to do, there's two ways. We're going to talk about copying and cutting. So when you cut data, it's going to make this disappear, okay, by cutting, because we're actually cutting. There's two ways of doing this. One, you could kind of do it on the safe side, which is copying. So watch when I do a copy. You could either do this from your keyboard, Control C on a Mac, or Command C on a Mac, or Control C on a Windows, or you can right click. So let's just do the right click. We're going to right click and we're just going to copy, and then we're going to take where we wanted to start the cell, and we're going to left click and then right click and then click on paste. Now you see how what happened here. It's still highlighted and that data is there. So I'm just going to do a Command Z or Control Z. Okay, and then I'm going to do Control Z again because we cut this area. Now we have our original spreadsheet here. So now what we can do, see it's how it's highlighted to get out of this. You just do an escape, and there you go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the same function because we want Honda brakes after Hyundai brakes. We're going to right click here. We're going to click on insert, and now we're going to do a cut. So we're going to left click and drag, and now we're going to do a right click and we're going to cut, and we're going to paste it in this area, and you're going to see how this disappears because it's going to cut, and there you go. Now I'm going to do Command Z or Control Z to undo. Now with inserting, let's say you missed the Tuesday, or let's say in total average, we're going to get a reference or an error here. Let's say we wanted to do subtotal here. So what we're going to do is we want to insert some data here. So you come over here and we're going to click on insert. Sorry, we're going to escape because it's looking for a formula. We're going to right click here. We're going to click on insert, and we're going to shift cells down, and there you go. So now we're just going to put in subtotal and click on enter. And that's it for insert, and that's it for the lecture. So let's get into the next lecture.